What up, peeps? It's Nez, and I'm back up in the kitchen. And what we're doing here is a comparison of all of my electric cold brewers. Now, I originally had the Dorothy one for a long time. I don't even know how long I had it. But originally I was trying to get the Vinci, but the Vinci was always way out of my price range. But I managed to, be diligent and keep looking, for probably the past year or so. And I managed to find it on eBay. Price came down considerably, and I managed to pick this bad boy up, a steal, for what I paid $20 for this. Okay, now coincidentally, I was also looking for the instant one, and not thinking I was gonna get the Vinci, I also bid on the instant one, also bidding for $20, and I ended up winning both of them. What's the chances? I was trying to get one or the other, and I figured I bid on both, and I'm sure to win one, and I ended up winning both. So here I am. I did individual reviews for each of these, and the links for those reviews will be in the description down below or at the end of the video. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare them all together and see which ones I like the most, and the ones I like the most I keep, and the one I don't, I'm going to sell, possibly to one of you guys. So I've already took the liberty of pre-filling with water, and what I like to do is I also like to pre-sweeten the water with a little bit of Splenda, just to, because I like to drink the cold brew coffee black. So I like to pre-sweeten it so I can just pour it right into the glass over ice and drink it. So what we're going to do here is we're using the Starbucks Komodo Dragon coffee. I'm going to use the same coffee on all three, so that way when we do the taste test at the end, we'll have a fair comparison. And I want to attempt to add the same amount of coffee comparable to the amount of liquid in each of these. Okay, so there's 32 ounce in the instant, there's 28 ounces in the Dorothy, and there's between 28 and 32 in the Vinci. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add one less scoop for the Dorothy than I'm gonna do for these two, since these have similar amounts of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now and add in the coffee grounds. Now keep in mind, remember, I did the individual videos for each of these so you can see how to work these. Right now I'm just doing a comparison. This is going to be for the Vinci, this one is going to be for the instant, and the Dorothy I just added directly in. So let me get my scooper. To make it easier, what I'm going to do is pour the coffee. Maybe this is too big, maybe smaller. I'm going to pour the coffee into this little container here to make it easier to scoop out, so I'm not digging all the way into the bag. Okay, so in the instant right here and the Vinci, they both require 7 scoops, so I'm going to do 7 scoops in each of these bad boys. Now, for the Dorothy, what we have to do is we have to actually turn this on and get the whirlwind going, and then we're going to add the coffee in. So I'm going to turn this on, get the whirlwind going. You want the whirlwind enough so the funnel actually touches the bottom of it, and that's all you need. You don't want it too high, because then you'll start throwing water out of the machine. So what I'm going to do before I add the grounds in here, I'm going to put this inside and connect this, because I want to kind of start them all at the same time, or close to the same time as possible. This is the Vinci. And keep in mind, just because it's sitting in the grounds doesn't mean that it's actually going. Okay, just so you know, it's just in there. Nothing's happening yet. And I'm setting my setting on the Vinci to extra bold, just so you know. There's multiple settings. I'm going with the most bold you can go. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the grounds in the instant. And what I like to do is, because when you first put the grounds in the instant, a lot of the grounds tend to float up on the water. So what I like to do is just mix the grounds up a little bit, just so it's agitated all in the water. So in essence, it's kind of like cheating a little bit, because it's kind of like starting the process, but not really, because I already know how the results are going to be for this. But I'm not gonna give my opinion. I'm gonna let you decide based off the end of the video. So well, I should say I'm not gonna give my opinion yet. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is let me put the cap onto this. Okay, so I'm gonna set this for, well, first, the Vinci, the max amount of time that it goes in one session is 25 minutes. This can do, being the instant, can do 30 minutes, and the Dorothy can go as long as you let it go. So I'm gonna try to keep it equal. I'm gonna let this do its 25-minute session, and I'm gonna let this do its full 30-minute session, and then I'm gonna stop this when the instant stops. So I'm gonna stop the Dorothy at the same time as the instant, or as close to that time as possible, and try to keep it as fair as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my grounds in here. I'm doing 6 here. Okay, I wanna aggravate this a little bit just to get it spinning. You want the perfect whirlwind action there. I mean, if I'd have left it alone long enough, it would have automatically righted itself. I want to get it going. Okay, put the lid on. Well, I don't put the lid on this. What I like to do for this, and this is probably the only complaint that I have for the Dorothy Presto, is that there's no lid to go on top of it for when it's actually spinning. So what I like to do is just add like a little moist paper towel on top, just to keep everything, or nothing, from getting in it, I should say. Okay, so I'm gonna start this, and we're gonna set that for 30 minutes and go. So we're just gonna let that ride out, and then when we come back in, when it's all done, we're gonna see what we're working with. So with that, I will catch you on the flip. Okay, we back in. All 3 have finished their brew cycle. I had to let this wait another 5-10 minutes, so that way the grounds can settle out of the water, so that way I can plunge it down to be able to even taste some of this. And like I said, when you actually watch the full review of the Dorothy, you will see that that's a process that you also got to take into consideration if time is a factor. So let's open this up, plunge these grounds down. Okay, they're locked down. Now with the Vinci, we have to actually expunge the rest of the coffee out of the filter. So we do that by pressing the brew cycle again, and it'll force the rest of the coffee that are in the grounds out. After we do that, we just set this into the cup that comes with it, that holds it. Let's set that off to the back, out of the way. And there's nothing to do with that, because all you do is just push that around, and the filter's already in there and it's above the water line. So when you turn that around, you're gonna be able to pour the water out of the spot. The coffee out of the spot. Now, just from looking at it off the top, you see the different colors. So if you were to judge how well the coffee extracted by the colors, then clearly the Vinci looks like it extracted the best. But just because it's darker doesn't mean anything. The taste test is the ultimate thing, because no matter how dark or how light it is, the ultimate determination of whether you're gonna like it or not is you and how you like your coffee. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of the Dorothy out. Just pick that up, pour a little bit into my shot glass here. Okay, I'm gonna pour a little bit of the Vinci. Okay, and I'm gonna pour a little bit of the instant. If you hear my kids in the background, don't mind them. Kids do what kids do. They're loud and they have fun, so just pay attention to me, not them. Okay, we got our 3 shots here. First, we're gonna go with the Dorothy. Okay, that's pretty well extracted, I would say. That tastes typically what of a cold brew coffee that you would buy in a Starbucks or something like that. So that's a win. Now let's go with the Vinci. All right, I would say the Vinci is a little bit better than the Dorothy. It's a little bit stronger, I would say. So if you like your coffee bolder, then in that time frame, now keep in mind, this was only 25 minutes, the Vinci. This went for 30 minutes, just like the instant. Okay, so now we're gonna taste the instant. Okay, the instant, it tastes okay, but it's a little weak. I feel like, and I kind of already knew this when you watch my actual review of it, that I feel like 2 sessions of this would bring this on par with 1 session of this. So 2 sessions of the instant will bring it on par with 1 session of the Vinci, or a 30-minute session in the Dorothy Presto. So if I had to pick a winner between the 3, I would definitely say Vinci by a smidge over the Presto, but the instant definitely lasts. Now, don't get me wrong, they all do what they do exceptionally well. They extract the coffee. You're not tasting any of the bitterness that you would normally take from heat extracted coffee. And it's kind of sweet. Now, I know that I pre-sweetened the water before doing it, but even without it, it's kind of a sweet extraction from cold brew. Anyone who's had straight up cold brew, just coffee and ice or whatever, you'll taste it's like a slight sweetness to it. Whereas the hot coffee does not have that same taste. So like I said, I'm gonna go with the Vinci all day, and then the Dorothy Presto, and then the instant comes in third. But however, if I were to do the instant at 60 minutes versus 30 minutes, I think we're playing on an even playing field here with all three. But take that how you will. I figured, I had all three of these, I might as well, do a comparison of the three, because they're three popular cold brew, electric cold brew coffee makers. And I haven't seen anything on YouTube, with these three going head to head. So, I have them, figure I do it. So take it as you will. If you want to help me out, hook me up with a thumbs up, a sub to the channel would be great also. I'll drop the links to where you can buy these in the description down below. I'll drop a couple links in eBay, hopefully you can catch the deal like I caught, but I'll put the actual links on Amazon, at the full price for whatever they are, or Walmart, wherever I can find them. But with that being said, I'm Nez, and this has been the impromptu head-to-head of the Dorothy Presto, the Vinci electric cold brewer, and the instant electric cold brewer. If you cop any one of these, you won't be upset. You'll like them. But if you only could choose one, I would say get the Vinci, because time factor 25 minutes for bold. I mean, you can certainly do less if you drop it down. They have just I did it on extra bold. This was extra bold. That's 25 minutes. If you drop it down to just bold, you could do it in 20 minutes and still get a good cold brew. So, all around time, and if you can catch a good sale on the price, I would go with the Vinci. But other than that, I would definitely say the Presto, because the Presto is inexpensive altogether, and you can adjust how long or how short just by letting it keep running. You can let that bad boy run for 12 hours if you like it really strong. It's up to you. But so if you're looking for quick coffee, said and done, Vinci. And then Dorothy, if you just want to let that bad boy go. And like I said, if you catch a good deal on the instance, not a bad deal too. You just have to run it twice in order to get coffee to how I would like it. You may like it after one session. It's up to you. But definitely cop those. Links will be in the description down below. I'm Nez, and I'm out this piece.